Good morning, Morgan, and good morning to any of Morgan's friends that have joined us for this video today. And today we're, excuse me, going to be talking about method objects, which are different from the instant objects that we discussed in the last video. And the difference between those are, I don't know. We're going to have to try and figure this out. Okay? Excuse me, with that said, let's go ahead and get our reading going and try and figure out if we can figure out what the difference is. Because I'll be honest, I don't know. Let's go.
Python TV64. Method objects. Usually, a method is called right after it is bound. x.f. In the myClass example, this will return the string hello world. However, it is not necessary to call a method right away. X.f is a method object, and can be stored away and called at a later time.
Okay, so let's think about this. So this is a method. A method object is this x-f thing that we defined earlier. Okay, all right. So what are we doing here? We're taking this object and moving it to fx, and then we loop, and then we print whatever happens to be in it, which in this case it just says print hello world. I'm still not getting it. Let's keep on reading.
We'll continue to print hello world until the end of time. What exactly happens when a method is called? You may have noticed that x.f was called without an argument above, even though the function definition for f specified an argument. What happened to the argument? Surely Python raises an exception when a function that requires an argument is called without any, even if the argument isn't actually used. Actually, you may have guessed the answer. The special thing about methods is that the instance object is passed as the first argument of the function. In our example, the call x.f is exactly equivalent to myClass.fx. In general, calling a method with a list of n arguments is equivalent to calling the corresponding function with an argument list that is created by inserting the method's instance object before the first argument. If you still don't understand how methods work, a look at the implementation can perhaps clarify matters. When a non-data attribute of an instance is referenced, the instance's class is searched. If the name denotes a valid class attribute that is a function object, a method object is created by packing pointers to the instance object and the function object just found together in an abstract object. This is the method object. When the method object is called with an argument list, a new argument list is constructed from the instance object and the argument list, and the function object is called with this new argument list.
Oh, I didn't get any of that. I didn't understand a word they said. I hoped you did, but let's go ahead and forget about the manual for a little while, and let's head on over to some sample code that I've created that has all the code left over from the last video, and then a little bit more. And then let's think about this, what the difference is between what's an instant object, what's a function object, what's a frickin' method object. Maybe it has something to do with whether you give it a variable or not. I don't know. Let's get on over to the code and play around with it. See if we can enlighten ourselves. All right, Morgan and all of her friends that are joining us today. Here we are in the example code I've created for this video 64. And before we pulled out of the manual, we're talking about what the hell's an instance object, what's a function object, what's a method object. Okay, So if we go ahead and we look back to video 63, you'll see that these objects are what's in the class. It's little bits on the inside. And here we're setting a variable I to a number. Okay? And then after that we define a function that we're not actually passing it in any information. There's no variables here. It just prints out this text, hello world. Okay? And from that lesson, we know that a function object is the function bit. And creating this I variable, this integer variable here, that's an instance object. Okay? And then down here, we create the method object from the function object. Okay? And then, so we're kind of like renaming it. Okay? And then we do the little loop forever. But I didn't want to do the loop forever, so I threw a break in there. So it's only going to print it once, then it's going to kick out. Because you don't want stuff to just keep printing over and over and over again. That's an infinite loop. And if you put one of those in one of your code, if you leave one of those in your code, you will be fired. And you'll be fired in dramatic fashion. I've seen it. Just a little story. He had an infinite loop, and it was a print job. And the frickin' job printed 3 pallets of duplicate reports. Cost tens of thousands of dollars worth of paper before they caught it. So yeah, the code that you're going to be working on is going to be running stuff. Okay, so it better work right. Okay, and with this, I guess I could run it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just run the code, and let's go take a little look on it, and then that'll be it for the video. All right, let's go run. Oh, excuse me. All right, well, here we are in the output from the sample code from 64. And it has the same stuff left over from 63, and then it has the hello world. Now, if I didn't put that break in there, this thing would just go on forever and ever. Oopsie. And it would never stop until you force it to stop. And why they have that in the manual as an example, I don't really understand, other than they want you to realize how idiotic it is having these never-ending loops in your code. I guess it's an interesting way to try and teach a lesson. Anyway, with that, we're done with this video, and the next video is going to have 3 examples in it. And with that, let's call it a day.